In the history of football, no club has been more successful than Real Madrid in Spain, as well as on the European stage. They are a formidable force even for the biggest clubs in the world, always commanding respect from opponents whenever they step onto the field. However, in the early 2000s, the club experienced some serious decline. To address their issues, Real Madrid decided to invest in building a superstar team consisting of many outstanding players of the era, known as the Galacticos 1.0 era. To assemble this team, they had to spend around 1 billion euros at today's prices for 11 starting players. However, over 2 decades later, there is still some regret over that legendary team as it could not be sustained for long. In this video, let's explore why the once formidable legendary lineup of Real Madrid collapsed so quickly. First, we need to understand how this team brought in stars to create their first galaxy. In the 1990s, Real Madrid was still one of the leading teams in world football. They had won 2 Champions League titles in 1997 and 2000. However, off the pitch, Los Blancos faced financial difficulties. They owed 278 million euros and struggled to fill the stands at Santiago Bernabeu, despite discounts and seasonal ticket initiatives. This was when Florentino Perez, one of the wealthiest individuals in Spain, decided to run for club president and make significant changes to Real Madrid. Perez wanted to transform Real Madrid not only into a club seeking success on the field, but also into a money-making machine to generate massive profits. Therefore, Perez sought ways to materialize his goal, and his solution was straightforward. Perez promised to bring in the biggest names in the world at the time to play for Real Madrid. The new president was determined to completely change the club's structure and was willing to spend whatever it took to build a winning team. Florentino Perez was confident and declared, "If I fail, I will refund all season ticket costs to the fans." At that time, Real Madrid had players like Roberto Carlos, Clarence Seedorf, Raúl, and young promising goalkeeper Iker Casillas. However, Perez aimed for more ambitious goals. The first name he brought in was one of the world's most famous players at the time, Luis Figo from Barcelona. With a transfer fee of 60 million euros, or nearly 100 million euros equivalent today, Perez used this signing to bolster his bid for the club presidency. Figo's move from Barcelona to Real Madrid in 2000 was one of the most sensational transfers that people still talk about to this day. The Galacticos 1.0 plan progressed smoothly, with Real Madrid acquiring both Figo and Makelele. Together, they strengthened the midfield of Real Madrid. Winning the La Liga title in the 2000-2001 season was evidence of the initial success of this billion-dollar plan. The long-awaited La Liga title, along with Figo's Ballon d'Or in 2000, further boosted Perez's confidence in his Galacticos plan. Despite having a creative midfielder like Guti in the attacking midfield position, Perez felt it wasn't enough. So, in the summer of 2001, Real Madrid bought Zinedine Zidane from Juventus for a record-breaking transfer fee at the time. The amount the Royal Whites paid then was around 72 million euros, the highest in the history of world football at that time. With early success in his initiative, Perez saw increased attendance at matches and revenue from ticket sales and jersey sales improve significantly. After these high-profile transfers, Real Madrid's image once again shone brightly. In the 2001-2002 season, although they only finished third in La Liga and lost to Deportivo de La Coruña in the Copa del Rey final, they regained their position on the European stage. They defeated Bayern Munich in the quarter-finals and overcame arch-rivals Barcelona in the semi-finals before advancing to the final. Real Madrid brilliantly defeated the sensation Bayer Leverkusen to claim the title, with Zidane scoring the iconic winning goal. As a result, Perez's initial project of assembling a superstar team was considered a great success with plenty of potential for further development. Therefore, the investment would continue to be pursued. After that season, according to coach Vicente Del Bosque, he realized that his team's lineup was still incomplete, and the best way to continue improving it was to invest in the defensive line, which would bring more balance to the team. However, Perez disagreed. At that time, he believed that talented midfielders or top-notch strikers were what would make the Galacticos squad truly fearsome. So, in 2002, Real Madrid splashed the cash to sign Ronaldo Del Lima from Inter Milan, the otherworldly striker with the most terrifying goal-scoring ability in the world at that time. At this point, Real Madrid's superstar lineup became truly dazzling. They had Casillas in goal, Zidane, Makalele, Figo, Roberto Carlos, and Raúl. With their strength, they easily clinched the Liga title, and in the 2002-2003 season, coupled with Ronaldo de Lima's incredible goal-scoring performance of over 30 goals in his debut season. However, when it came to the European stage, they faced problems. Despite winning 2-1 in the first leg of the semi-final against Juventus, in the second leg, the Royal team easily fell with a score of 1-3, thus being eliminated from the Champions League that year. Remember the warning from Vicente Del Bosque, the Spanish coach who was right about the imbalance in this lineup? In that match, when Makalele couldn't play due to suspension, Real Madrid easily fell apart. Success also marked the beginning of the downturn. After the 2002-2003 season, things began to veer off course from Perez's vision, signaling the start of a decline. In the summer of 2003, coach Vicente Del Bosque, who had brought 2 Champions League titles to Real Madrid, decided to leave. Veteran defender Fernando Hierro was also let go, deemed surplus to requirements. At the end of that summer, their top central midfielder, Makalele, was unexpectedly allowed to join Chelsea. Losing the world's top defensive midfielder and the leader of their defense for a decade, Madrid then only decided to make one notable signing: David Beckham from Manchester United. This was still Perez's choice to continue building his Galacticos super team, but it was not the right decision. While Luis Figo was one of the best right-wingers in the world at that time, what the club needed was a defender like Hierro, a versatile defensive midfielder like Makalele, and a coach like Del Bosque. Beckham was an unnecessary addition. The Spanish Super Cup was all that Real Madrid achieved at that time. Beckham's surplus, Ronaldo's uncontrollable weight gain, and many issues regarding the imbalance of the lineup made Real Madrid's Galacticos no longer as fearsome as they were at the beginning. At this point, Perez sought redemption. In the 2004 season, he brought in Jonathan Woodgate from Newcastle for $13.5 million and notably English striker Michael Owen. However, the former Liverpool player couldn't contribute much and departed after the following season. The failure of prodigy Robinho marked the final failure in Perez's plan. On the coaching bench, there was only a revolving door. Jose Antonio Camacho lasted for just 6 matches, Mariano Garcia Ramon for 20, Vanderlei Luxemburgo managed 45 matches, and Juan Ramon Lopez Caro took charge for 24. The consecutive failures since 2003 shattered the Galacticos plan shortly after its initial success. Therefore, Perez resigned on February 27, 2006, admitting that the team and the club needed a new direction. It was also the end of the road for the Spanish billionaire's ambition of a superstar lineup dominating all competitions. Afterward, in 2009, Perez once again emerged victorious in the race for the presidency of the Royal Club. However, following his failures, he gleaned profound lessons about building sustainable football that could bring long-term strength to the team, similar to what Real Madrid has achieved in recent years. Although unable to sustain success over the long term, the Galacticos 1.0 era left behind many memorable moments of a superstar lineup at the turn of the 21st century. However, it also served as a valuable lesson for any football club about the pitfalls of using money to buy titles.